So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called The Monster Hunter, also known as Natural Selection. This is going to be the Asylum Home Entertainment piece of shit. Fucking piece of shit. I give it 1 out of 5 stars. If you don't know who the Asylum Home Entertainment is, they make low budget movies for less than $1 million a pop. Mostly ripping off movies like Sharknado. Some of the worst movies of all time, I might add. Although this is the only one I've ever seen, hopefully the last one that I've seen. I don't know if this movie is a ripoff on anything, but I felt ripped off after watching it. It's starring David Carradine and a bunch of other washed-up actors. The storyline doesn't really make any sense. It's about a couple of serial killers who bump into each other. And then David Carradine is like thinks that they're vampires or something. I didn't really catch that part, but he gets a hold of a corpse and he sticks a stake in it because it's still alive, and it looks like not like a vampire per se, but like an alien. So he gets a wooden stake in a mallet and stakes the alien in the heart because it's supposed to be a vampire, but it just looks like a friggin' rubber Halloween mask. And then the movie's mostly just people talking about this guy Willie. I forget the actor's name, Bowen or something. He was in Kill Bill, both volumes, by the way. And one of the actresses was in Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. So a lot of David Carradine's friends were in this, I guess. I don't know. I hated it. I mean, even though there's a lot of blood squirting and it's kind of violent towards the end. I couldn't really follow the story, mainly because the story kept getting interrupted by these people who are like being interviewed by a news reporter or something, like these little vignettes of people recounting the whole murder spree or whatever. So Willie, the postman, goes postal on David Carradine after David Carradine sees him as a vampire, again looking like an alien creature, not a vampire. So the movie's shot in Austin, Texas, and Taylor, Texas. So you get to see a glimpse of lily white Austin, Texas, per se. Like I said, the two serial killers bumping into each other at the park. It's like 110 or 120 when they were shooting this. Freaking monstrosity. No pun intended. Yeah, I was watching it at my mom's house in Paradise with, while my son was watching Ninja Turtles videos on YouTube, and I had to turn it off and go to sleep because I was going to fall asleep from the movie. Literally put me to sleep. That's how bad it was. Granted, I couldn't sleep very well at night because my friggin' Alzheimer's mother, kept waking us up like twice a night for no apparent reason. She doesn't have any sense of time. As a matter of fact, I just heard from the trailer park manager a couple of days ago that she's been wandering around at night in the trailer park, just kind of dazed and staring into space or whatever. which is my worst fear, which is why I asked her priest to have a church person come watch her multiple times. And then the priest leaves me a voicemail saying, oh, you got to pay for these Filipina caregivers to watch her at night. Yeah, no kidding. She doesn't have a long-term care insurance. And I haven't even filed the friggin' paperwork for a conservatorship so I can start liquidating her assets, mainly her home and her savings account, to pay for these people to take care of her. She hasn't even gone to see the doctor yet, which might happen next week. I'm crossing my fingers, I'm praying, but I'm not exactly holding my breath, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to get her driver's license suspended. She keeps saying that. She keeps telling her friends that her brother tells her that she has dementia, tries to suspend her driver's license. I think she knows that I'm her son, but for some reason she thinks the things that I'm doing are her brother's doing or my uncle's doing. So it's very nerve-wracking, and I don't know. It's kind of like going through divorce or going through when my grandmother had cancer and she died. That was a difficult time for me. Now I'm going through divorce and this Alzheimer's crap with my mother, if you can believe that. It's like Murphy's Law, man. At least I have a job, though. I shouldn't be too unhappy about the situation. It's just, I don't know. I just had to get off my chest. Sorry, this was supposed to be a movie review. But, man, what a lot of crap that I've had to deal with last week. You know, typing up this long-ass 20-page reply brief, which wasn't really long, considering how long my ex-wife's brief was. It's just been a nightmare week, although I did find a hot-looking, kind of chubby 36-year-old Filipina babe on OkCupid, the online dating service that's free. She's supposed to call me tomorrow. I hope she does. She's like a married widow with a 9-year-old boy, and I guess her husband died from chain smoking cigarettes or whatever. But she's into older guys, so whatever. She's 9 years younger than I am, which is cool. And she's Catholic, which means she can have as many babies as I can give her, or as many babies as she can stop getting Precos, I guess. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So kind of promising. I don't know. The Chinese bitch that I was dating back in January, she flaked on me for like 6-7 months, something like that. Yeah, 7 months. And then she went back to China and told me that she was gonna marry somebody in China. Great. Yeah, I'm a nice guy, but long distance relationship doesn't work. Well, it took you 7 months to figure that out? Fucking A. Anyways, enough about dating, Alzheimer's, and divorce. My 3 nightmares of the previous week. Just gotta lick your wounds and move on, man. That had to be like the worst week ever. Those 3 friggin' disasters all occurring at one time. I'm just glad that that it's a new week and the sun still goes up in the morning. So what else can I say about this movie? I don't know what else to say. It was just confusing. Story didn't make sense. There's these two redneck guys who remember Willie. I think he's a cool old country boy type of. Didn't really understand what that was about. Didn't understand the head shrinker guy who's like in love with serial killers. He thinks they're cool. The postal serial killer kind of thing was cliched and kind of stereotype bullshit. I didn't really think it was that funny. There's a scene where where he's got blood all over his wife beater or whatever. He just comes out and he starts talking to the maid at the motel as if nothing happened. She's kind of nonchalant about it when she gets interviewed. She says something like, "Oh, my job is pretty decent. I mean," she's being sarcastic, of course. Or maybe she doesn't know she's being sarcastic, but she comes off as being sarcastic. So it tries to be like a black comedy and it fails big time. I guess the director is a storyboard artist, but other than that, he doesn't have any talent whatsoever, which is why this is the Asylum Home Entertainment after all, which has such a bad reputation. I'm glad that I haven't seen some of the worst movies ever from this piece of shit organization called the Asylum Home Entertainment. I was just watching it to be a David Carradine completist, okay? I don't even remember when Kill Bill came out, but 1998? It was a big hit too. So why is David Carradine appearing in a shit movie like this after Kill Bill? I guess his 5 minutes of fame was up after that, and Kung Fu. I don't know. What has Quentin Tarantino done since Kill Bill? That's what I'd like to know. I saw him in, was it Planet Terror or something like that, as an actor. But what has he directed? And why did the bonus features in this one pay homage to Quentin Tarantino? Like, they give him special thanks or something. What is his involvement with this movie in the first place? The soundtrack is terrible. The editing is terrible. The dialogue is terrible, or monologue, as it were. It's just a bunch of people talking into the camera. There's no like two-way dialogue in this movie, or not much. And the amount of dialogue that we see is enough to put you to sleep. It's that bad. So skip this movie. Just avoid it at all costs, unless you want to torture yourself or you want to see one of the worst movies ever. Just pick any film from the Asylum Home Entertainment Library. But this one pretty much takes the cake. I mean, if this is any indication of what other Asylum movies are like, man, I'm glad I haven't seen any of them except for this one. I'm scared to watch the other ones, like the Sharknado ripoffs and shit like that, because they've got to be equally as bad and I can't imagine anything as worse as this. It just has to be absolute horrible. You take any of the Asylum film or Asylum home entertainment movies, and you look at their ratings on IMDb, they consistently get lower than 3 ratings. And I created a list of some of the worst movies of all time on my playlist. The Asylum home entertainment movies, the list is just chock full of those. Also, Mystery Science Theater 3000 type movies. It's full of those, so it's kind of equally split, half and half, I guess. So that kind of gives you an idea of the quality of this film. It's not one of those so bad that it's good type films. It's just bad and boring. I mean, for a slasher film, it's got to be one of the worst, in my opinion. I can't recommend it. I can't say check it out. But I can say avoid it and don't watch it. So that's the end of my review. Laters.